Hello, everyone. I'm Monica, marketing manager at Aurora. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Stack. This is a live stream series where we give the floor to each of our partners from the Aurora Marketplace. A few months ago, we have onboarded top tier players in the industry, and we have created the Marketplace, which is pretty much like a chain launch toolkit, integrations from like data, oracles, identity, cloud computing, payments, and everything is ready to use by anyone who launched or is going to launch a virtual chain on Aurora. So the partner we spotlight today is Cere Network, and please meet Fred, the founder. Hello and welcome.
Hi, Monica. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks a lot for being here with us. And to begin with, it would be great if you can tell a few words about yourself and your background.
Yeah, so I grew up in San Francisco area. I was born in Beijing, but I grew up in the U.S. for pretty much most of my life, and I work in Silicon Valley since 1997. Right, for the very first startup I worked with when public. It was called um, Net Objects. Right, so I actually worked with three people from the Macintosh team. Right, back then. So I was inspired very early on. I was very lucky from early on, and then I had a long career. Right, so I've been thinking about how to solve the problem of data sovereignty, data interoperability, right, for a long time, because I was early part of a sort of an app ecosystem, right? So back 15 years ago, building these applications where you're kind of a very constrained by the platforms in terms of the user's data interoperability, right? So everything was data siloed. So we've been thinking about this, the problem that we're solving today, for a long time.
Amazing. That's really impressive background, and really glad to have you here with us and share from your experience. It would be great to kind of give like a elevator pitch and about Cere Network to everyone, like the virtual chain founders, just to understand a bit more on what it is and what you're doing.
Sure. Yeah, I think the simple ways to think about it is that Cere Network is a protocol that powers all these fully autonomous and decentralized data clusters around the world that can serve as a secure data compute platform for personal AI compute, right? So this is what doesn't exist today, where you have everyone's data. You don't really own all your data, so most people do not have a secure personal vault, right? And this is exactly, I think, it's where AI and Web3 converge on solving, right? So I think this is I think it's one of the most important things we can work on. If you really think about it, where I think everyone is kind of really aping into stable coins right now, right? Because I think people understand that a lot of the economy is going to move below the API and service layer and be attached to all these, agentic execution, attached to all these AI agents, right? So everyone knows that. But what's also missing is the sort of sovereign and interoperable data sets that's truly personal to you, right? Can be securely accessed and attached to these AI agents that works like for you, right? Not for the platform, not for Facebook, not for Apple, Google, right? So I think that's really important, and I think this is something that resonates really well. I think with Near as well, right? And I'm sure with Aurora and the greater community that you guys are a part of. So that's why we're very interested in helping everyone in this ecosystem with our solution as well.
Amazing, cool. Maybe it would be great to also understand how would you differentiate yourself from the others out there. I mean, there's a lot of projects handling data, but would love to know a bit more on that side.
Yeah. So I think we have a very sort of a real world approach, right? And we long embraced that. We probably have 3 or 4 times the code that where amount of innovation that someone like Protocol Labs, where Filecoin, everyone knows Filecoin, right, have done. Because I think everyone knew early on that's just something they can use before. retrieve that data, attribute all that utility into a payment model, right? So that did not exist. So having worked with real world partners and real world use cases, empowering these things is something that we've been very, very intent on doing, and that's something that we've already achieved. Now our focus is really specifically on, hold on one second, on actually go to market, working with unlocking enterprise adoption, getting more developers to use our tools. So, which is something I hope to showcase a little bit today.
Yeah, amazing. I think would be good to see also what relevant use cases you see. I mean, you obviously come from a wide background, and I know you have in the team a lot of people working in the past at different tech companies, and quite impressive. Would be great to also see what would you say are most relevant use cases.
Yeah, I think everything relating to computer vision, everything relating to NLP or natural language processing, meaning that everything that we see, everything that we say, everything, they all have to be processed in almost real time. There's so much more data compute that's needed. So the blockchain is really good for a few things, right? So one is, I think, privacy and data encryption, asymmetrical data encryption, and permissionlessness that comes with that. And the second thing is also, automated payments, right? Micropayments and programmable conditional money that can be attached to these automations. But more importantly, third thing is also activation, right? Incentivization, which is I think is what's really needed to get a lot more computing resources to actually help to do a lot of these type of compute, right? So that's why these type of data cluster really matter. And if you don't mind, I can just quickly show. I have just a few slides that kind of really try to help visualize the points.
Sure, that would be great.
Let me see how do I do this. Show screen. Give me 1 second here. Let me do entire screen. Okay, I'm gonna share my whole screen here. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yes, I think let's do a slideshow here. Cool. So I think just to double click on the point that I was making earlier, which is the biggest challenge facing AI today is really data security, data privacy, and data ownership, because most of our data are just all trapped behind all these apps that we use. And there's a bunch of things that's happening behind the scene none of us really know. And we can't really have your own sort of a personal and sovereign AI agent that works only for you and only acts on your data with permission, right? That doesn't really exist today. So this is why we've been working on this for a long time. So today we already have a number of data clusters that are fully autonomous, right? And more importantly, they're decentralized or soon to be decentralized. Anyone can actually join and run one of these data clusters. And this is absolutely what's needed, because you need to have this kind of framework where no one owns your data, right? All your data is fully encrypted and sharded into a lot of different small pieces that no one really has all your data, right? Only you with your data wallet and also your personal agents, right? Your trusted agents with your permission that's verifiable can actually access that data. And also there's a lot of problem facing developers today, which is how do you introduce AI that's secure, that doesn't have data leak, and that's can go around all these different vendors and wall gardens and data silos, and how do you know that, hey, that data that goes into OpenAI is actually safe and secure, right? It's not going to be used against you at some point. So this is really, I think, the huge opportunity, not just for us, but for all of Web3. Yeah, so this is why we introduced this completely sovereign data stack that can sort of process everyone, like basically everyone's data stream will go right into it. Maybe a data cluster that's close by, right? That's in terms of edge computing, so that it's designed from the ground up to have everyone's data to be individually encrypted and supports dynamic and secure data compute right on top of the data stream. and the agents can only access it when they have a part of a registry using public blockchain to be able to have that mapping, right, between the registered agents and the user, so that every transaction is actually permitted, right, and can be verified. So yeah, I want to quickly show that visual. Let me know if that was helpful.
Yeah, it was really interesting, and thanks for explaining us. I think that's why we are all here, for the sovereignty and making sure that the data is secure. So it also fits with what we are doing at Aurora. So thanks for that. Would be also nice to know what kind of offering or
Oh yeah,
services.
yeah. Let me show you like one of the use cases, right? So you asked about the use cases. I will tell you that we are working on some enterprise use cases, specifically with real time computer vision, right? Which is understanding and identifying, right? What are the sort of the robotic cameras are seeing, right? And try to understand and bring some intelligence into that real time, right? To give that feedback loop to the operators, and as well as the robotics systems themselves. So I won't go into too much, but there's a fun project that we actually did with one of our partners. Let me just quickly show my screen again. 1 second. I think I'll share my whole screen. This is a project that we almost something that we wish we had for ourselves. Let me see if I can actually show. So this is something that we launched with one of our partners, Pineapple Dex. So this is built this is basically an interface that actually, it's a rewards bot that actually uses our technology, and it's like incentivize user to like do these things that they can actually earn airdrops, right? So you can do watch to earn. So you can watch these videos as stream from our infrastructure. You can also see there's a leaderboard here, right? And what's important here is like when you opt in, there's actually a data wallet that we actually automatically create for you. And you can see all the data activities that actually, looks like this, that you have access to. So you basically put in your connect your wallet using the Telegram auth. You will be able to see all the things that you did. And also what's more important is that there's an incentive for users to actually go trade to get some bonus tokens. So let's see if I can show you quickly a dashboard here. And also we can actually understand, we can also onboard the conversations that they're having, right, when they participate. So the kind of a cool thing here is that, let me see if I have this. So you can see that, hey, there's roughly 300 users who actually participated to try to earn the bonus tokens. And for each one of these, you can see there's 62 completed trade. And for each one of these, you can actually open up and see, like just say, hey, any given user, you can see, this is also, there's another view of this is the application view of the developer activities, of the user activities. You can see they watch all 3 videos, they did the quiz, they did these, custom tasks, right? And those are points that they earned. So this is, you can see the customer journey, basically the activity participation they had, both inside the Telegram, and also on their DEX, right? So these basically interoperable data wallet that's using Telegram auth to actually correlated to. Also, you can click on this. This is actually data that's actually using these NLP agents actually are able to understand what kind of a topic are they participating in, what conversations, and what actually they're talking about. They can even expand to show the folks that actually converse with. So it's very, very powerful stuff, right? And then also you have things like, these are the real-time tools that we're going to be open up to developers soon, which, these are the data streams, right, that you can have access to in real time. And these are the the different agents that actually work off of those messages coming to the stream. And these are the agent executions, right? That these are all the different agents that actually work on to produce those sort of understanding sentiments and what people are doing. I think every Web3 project needs to have something like this, right? We basically built this using our own platform, our own technology for ourselves, because we know unless you do that this day and age, it's really hard for people to use your protocol. Like you said, there are a lot of data infrastructure players, but I
Yeah.
think very few of them have this very sort of a pragmatic and business and developer focused.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really great, and it gives inspiration for builders as well. Yeah, it's really great what you've built.
Mhm.
Was It's interesting to see what is in for the virtual chain founders from Cere Network. What would be then the offering, and what do you think the the founders can do right now if they would go on the marketplace, check for Cere Network, and request integration? What is in for them?
Yeah, there's some amazing opportunities coming up soon. So for one, we're basically have this direct sort of a pay to play that's tied into something like, just say, hey, in Telegram, right? Basically, you can map these content and these contests to your like some smart contract or NFT that you launch on virtual on your platform, right, on the virtual chain. That basically pays every time somebody watches or somebody performs something, right? So that is like the one of the easiest things. You can already tie to something we built, and slightly down the line where we can allow these agents to be registered, right? So when you deploy these AI agents, you can also register them. If you create a smart contract on the virtual chain, that basically has this mapping, and then the user sort of receives one of these NFTs in a data wallet. That means your agent can now is permitted to help that user and access that user's data stream. So you can actually do something, produce something meaningful for the user. For example, when the user having a conversation, you can say, hey, you can detect the sentiment of the person that this person having conversation with, and give this like a little report, right, to the user, and then earn some token for doing that. And again, this is why Web3 it's has this the third point, which is incentivization, right,
Yeah.
which is a good way to get people to start adopting and testing some of these cool technology. Those are just two of the simplest ways, right? There are many other possibilities.
Yeah, I see a wide range of possibilities here. It can be applied to a lot of use cases, and I really like the gamification part of it. And I'm pretty sure people listening feel the same.
Yep.
Do you have some last words for the virtual chain founders or for anyone listening?
Well, I think it's really great that I think the overall community, I think both near Aurora and the greater community you guys are part of, all believe in the same vision. I think this is so early. There's so much cool things that's going to come from the convergence of Web3 and AI. And I think that stablecoin, I think, is definitely like the first like sort of a big foray into it. And we only going to see so much more value going to be sort of attached, right, to that. And I think that data is next, right? So I think just there's so much cool stuff we can do. We're just getting started.
That's right. Cool. Thanks a lot for being here with us. And once more, thank you for the partnership with the marketplace, and super excited for what's coming. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we will do many cool stuff together. So thank you
Yeah,
so much.
we're just getting ready to do some cool things. Actually, in fact, I think in a few weeks we're gonna have this developer contest. We're gonna work with some of the partner projects in Web3 who running our campaigns, and then every day I think the user can upload a image, and then that image can be turned into these kind of memes or with very themed cool photos by any one of these AI agents, right? So we're gonna run a contest with developers, which is whoever launches the agent that can produce the best themes will win a prize, as well as the user. So there's something really cool because we want to we're ready at that point to get developers to directly have hands-on access to some of our tools in our platform.
Amazing, super cool. We'll check it out. Yeah, make sure to follow Cere Network on X. And yeah, thanks once more for being part of this movement. And let's launch the next 1,000 virtual chains together.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you. Talk soon.
Bye bye.